if we have sound. Because if not for that, we're going nowhere. For real. This thing been acting crazy lately. So let's take care of that first, right? This thing been acting crazy lately. All right, good. We good. We good. Yeah. Power Monday. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Yeah. What's up, y'all? Power Monday. Yo, Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the Daily Go Getter Mix show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here, we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no posting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about he didn't see it because he didn't want to see it tonight. He didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. She didn't see it because she didn't want to see it. They didn't see it because they didn't want to see it. You know what we're really talking about tonight? We're talking about denial. We're talking about denial tonight. You know, when you want to believe in something so bad that even though it's giving you all of the evidence to the contrary of what you are conjuring up in your mind that you are seeing or that you want to see, you still make it right in your own mind. And we've all done it. We've all done it, from believing in a person that was close to us, like our parents, aunties, uncles, grandparents, maybe even teachers, coaches, things like that. People who have let us down. Not saying, I'm not indicting anybody or blaming anybody, but in everybody's life, they believe in somebody who lets them down. But before you accepted that they let you down, or before you accepted that they were not who they really were, they showed you that they were not who they really were. And you might not have wanted to see it. You may have looked the other way. You may have made excuses for them. You may have told people that, no, it's only because this, that, and the third. No, they're not really like that. No, it's not really like that. And sometimes we do it in our own favor. Sometimes there are things about ourselves that are really standing out and are obvious to everybody else, but we might be in denial of them. And it could be, I don't know if y'all checked out the poll question, but the poll question addresses some of those things. Not on a personal level, we're talking about other people. Hold on, my people, because you know what? To me, I look a little hazy. It looks a little hazy. I think we can clean that up a little bit. I don't know. It look any clearer to you? I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're talking about tonight. Tonight, when you're in denial. He said he put up his phone number. No, it's not my personal phone number. Dummy. No, dummy. Aztec warrior drums. That's what you call these? I thought they were just called congas or kungas, depending on how you pronounce them. He hitting that shit. he hitting that shit literally. What up, y'all? The facial hair gotta be crime. I think you missed a letter there. Lovely lady said bald. Yeah, I mean, Captain Obvious you are. Hey, stop spamming. Do not write that again. Listen, I'll let you say anything you want to in the chat, but you can't spam. Captain Obvious. Like, oh, I'm bald. I really thought y'all would think I had hair. Wow, this is amazing. What's up, Zachary? What's good? How you feeling? And what's that, Christina Love? What up, Christina? How y'all feeling? So this show tonight, this is the Daily Go-Getterism Show. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar, with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go-Getterism Show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should as well. Tonight on the Daily Go-Getterism Show, we are talking about he didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. She didn't see it because she didn't want to see it. They didn't see it because they didn't want to see it. So we're really talking about denial, when somebody is in denial. So when y'all came in, I was talking about how it is when you're in denial of something. So, yeah, lovely lady, that would be like me thinking that I really have hair or that it's going to grow back. Like, I don't know about that, my dude. You might just have to rock out with the facial hair, because I don't know if the hair on your head is going to come back the way other people's hair comes back. It ain't coming back. It'll come around the sides, but it's been gone for almost. It's been gone for 2 decades now. I think I've accepted my fate. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. So, bro, the chillest Philly fan. You talking about the Eagles? You talking about the Eagles, my brother? You know how we do. You know how we do. And Amanda Beast, what's that? Benston? Wait a minute. Beaston. What up, Amanda? What's good? What's good? What's good? Thanks for coming through. So yeah, we're talking about being in denial. You know, being in denial. And listen, we've all believed in somebody who didn't turn out to be the way that we thought that they were going to be. But before we accepted that they weren't who we thought that they were, or who we built them up to be, we probably made excuses for them. We probably spoke up for them. We probably kept other people from talking about who they really were instead of who they were in our image and our perception of them. It could have been somebody on TV that you never met. It could have been a movie star. It could have been a comic book hero. You know, I mean, in everybody's life, they come across somebody who they really admire, or they really like, or they really love, or they really want to be like. And sometimes you have to accept that that person is, unfortunately, they are human. They're not Superman. They're not Wonder Woman. They're human. Human. I'm only human. I'm only human. Hey, it's like that sometimes. But before we accept that they are only human, you know what? I'll tell you what. When I was younger, I used to like pro wrestling. I used to love pro wrestling. It was called I'm old enough to remember when it was called the WWF, before they had to switch it to the WWE. So I used to love WWF wrestling, and I used to go to all the matches and stuff like that. It took me a long time to accept that it wasn't real. You could clearly see that it wasn't real. I've seen people in real fights. I've seen people get knocked out. I've seen boxing matches. So how could I think that those punches that they were throwing in wrestling were real? But as a kid, you want to believe that the wrestlers and these images that they're portraying and all of that, oh, I'll do this to you and I'll do that because you're nothing and I'm everything. So on Saturday night, on January something, I'm going to do this to you and do that to you and end your career. There's no way that you could beat me. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah. To a kid really wants to believe that it's real. They don't understand. They don't understand sports for show business, because in all the other sports, it's real. And in wrestling, pro wrestling anyway, it's not real. It's not real, but it's a hard thing for real wrestling fans to come to grips with. Because once you accept that it's not real, what's the use in watching it anymore? Who wants to watch that? Who wants to watch that? You might as well just be watching a movie or something like that, which basically that's what it was. They wrote down the scripts and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, you may be in denial. Like you could clearly see that those punches aren't landing. Those kicks aren't real kicks. They're just making a bunch of noise in the ring. You know, like such and such broke his neck last week, and now he's wrestling again this week. You recover from a broken neck in a week? In a month? In a year? Well, that's a pretty big miracle now, isn't it? Well, that's That's how wrestling goes. MVS D Major. What up, MVS D Major? What's good? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Listen, I just need y'all to do one little thing for me. It's not a big thing. Just do one little thing for me. Please hit the like button. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm not going to ask you for any money. We are headed toward the end of the year and the beginning of the new year. So can you please just hit the like button and everything will be all right. I'm going to put my drums away, put this hardware away. I say, put these drums away. Yo. So here we go. Please hit the like button as I put my toys away. As I put my toys away, please hit the like button. And so we can get this conversation started, and it should be a goodie. The title of this show is He Didn't See It Because He Didn't Want to See It. She didn't see it because she didn't want to see it. They didn't see it because they didn't want to see it. We didn't see it because we didn't want to see it. So when you're in denial of something, when you are in denial of something, or when you watch somebody else who's in denial of something that's obvious to everybody, that's the crazy thing about it. When it's obvious to everybody except for the person who it applies to. I guess I can start going for the low-hanging fruit. Pause, whatever y'all like to say. I'll go for the low-hanging fruit. Have you ever known somebody, seen somebody, or been somebody who was addicted to something? Drugs, alcohol, shopping. A lot of weed addicts don't like to use that word. Oh, I'm a pothead. Oh yeah, I smoke weed a lot, but I'm not addicted. There's no addiction to weed. It is to people who don't smoke the shit, but maybe not to the people who are addicted to it. I could understand them not accepting that they're addicted. But when you watch somebody that's addicted to something, whether it's a substance, whether it's overeating, like I said, shopping, gambling, because one thing about people who are addicted to things, they don't want to admit that they're addicted. They never admit it. They always tell you that they can stop anytime they want to, or they always tell you that they have it under control, and you're seeing everything about their situation except for control. You're not seeing any of that, and you're not going to see anything like that. You know why? Because that's how addiction works. That's how addiction works. Now, if you've ever grown up around somebody that was a drug addict, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The shit gets it gets scary. It gets nightmarish growing up around somebody that's addicted to drugs, especially when they are so close to you that you have to be affected by it and there's no way to get away from it. Like that could be your mom, that could be your dad. It could be, one of your siblings, your brothers or your sisters or something like that. Somebody who lives in the house, somebody you can't get away from unless you leave the house. And even if you left the house, you would probably still worry about them because you like them, because you love them, because they're close to you. Oh man, I didn't even see that shit. Florida, what's your name? Florida Man Ice says, nah, fuck that. You have a chin strap for a beard. Damn, man. Well, how do you unhook it? Because I shaped my shit up today. And you know what I'm saying? So if it's a chin strap, I should be able to, put this thing on whenever I feel like it instead of having to grow it. Chin strap. Yeah, chin strap. Yes, yes. Listen, man, you're not saying anything I haven't heard before. I guess when you're on camera, it looks like it looks like. But think about it. Yo, man, I'm 55 years old. Can you imagine me faking a beard? And you think I would make it silver? Shit. I would at least have to, you know what I mean? You know, normally when old heads are chasing their youth, they try to look younger. Normally. Carla, what's up, ma? What's going on? What's going on? Good to see me some you. Good to see me some you. So Carla, we was just talking about when you're in denial of something, because that's what this show was about. He didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. So we're talking about the things that reinforce something in you to the point where you don't want to look at it in a negative kind of way, or you don't want to really clock the behavior of what it really is. You know? So I was talking about when you're dealing with somebody who's an addict of something, because addicts never admit that they are addicted. Maybe farther down the line after they've messed up so much stuff that they can't deny it because everybody knows what it is. But nonetheless, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. And when you're talking about dealing with somebody who is an addict, you may not, if you really like them, you really love them, you may not accept that you may not accept that they are an addict. They won't accept that they're an addict, and you won't accept that they're an addict. So, you know, if you got two people in denial, acting like y'all don't see what you see, acting like tomorrow is going to be different from today without doing anything to change tomorrow. It ain't going to happen. But when it all comes down to it and it's time for accountability, like, well, you knew that he was on drugs, or you knew that he was using, or you knew that he was stealing money, or she was stealing money in order to buy this shit, and you didn't say nothing. See, now it's time for accountability. No, I didn't know. I didn't know they was an addict. I didn't know. I didn't know they were an addict. I didn't know they were still at it. I swear I never saw them get high. I ain't lying, for real. I didn't know. 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 Yeah, when it's time for that accountability. Is that my man Papucio? Is that my man Papucio? What up, what up, what up? What up? Mi amigo Sanchez. Mi amiga Papucio. What's good, my dude? What's good, what's good? So you and I are talking about he didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. Uh-oh. We good? I think the sound might have popped out for a second. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something if y'all hear. Oh, well, matter of fact, I can check it myself. I'm going to check it myself. Give me a thumbs up or something. All right, we good. We good. Yeah, he didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. She didn't see it because she didn't want to see it. They didn't see it because they didn't want to see it. We didn't see it because we didn't want to see it. When you really like somebody, when you really love somebody, when you really admire somebody, when you're really down with somebody, sometimes you don't want to see the flaws in them because you want your people to win. And you know that they might be doing something that makes them human, not superhuman, the way you've been trying to believe that they were. You know who? I wasn't thinking about this because I don't always think. Sports fans go through this a lot. Sports fans, you know, it's becoming. We are getting towards the playoffs, which means that we're getting towards the end of football season, and only certain teams are going to make it to the playoffs, and only two teams can make it to the Super Bowl. So the teams that are already out of the playoffs, Like they didn't make it. They didn't make the cut. Mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Their fans, a lot of those fans were in denial. Like, no, this is our year. We're going to do it. Or my team really is good. It's just because the refs didn't do this, or the coaching is like that, or our quarterback, or as in the case of Dallas Cowboy fans, no, our quarterback is the best quarterback. It's just that we don't have the team. We don't have the owner. We don't have the general manager. We don't have the coach. We don't have the wide receivers. We don't have the running back. We don't have the defense. We don't have the stadium. We don't have the grass. We don't have the turf. We don't have the cleats. We don't have the pads. We don't have the... In denial. They don't want to see that, whether you're talking about Cowboy fans or whether you're talking about fans of any other team, they do not want to see that their team is not good enough. But they're already out of the playoffs. So what more is there to say? Well, some of them are saying, yeah, but next year is our year and we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. So this year doesn't even count. This year doesn't even matter. I've heard people say this. I've heard only Cowboy fans say this. I've heard only Dallas Cowboys fans say this. I could really give them the business, but I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill. I know your ass. You know your ass. But we ain't got to say nothing. I'm chilling. Because my team already is going to playoffs and won the division. I'm fighting for the number 2 spot. But anyway, yeah. Fans, sometimes fans, I mean, how are you going to justify buying tickets to the game to watch your team if you accept that they are garbage or that they're never going to really be good enough? So you just pretend like they are good enough and that they will make it and they will be all right. Jeff Sprayberry, what up? What up? He said the Cowboys won 13 games 3 years in a row and were one and done in the playoffs. What a joke. But try to tell them that. Try to tell them that. Let them tell it they are 1 pass, 1 run, and 1 score away. I see it. Listen, they are a very good regular season team. Not this season and not last season. How you gonna miss it? They running around here talking about Dak Prescott threw for 4,000 yards. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm like, that boy has been in the league for 10 straight years, and he has won 2 playoff games. Two. The Cowboys as a team have won 4 playoff games in 30 years. Fuck with that. 4 playoff games in 30 years. Some things are as plain as the nose on your face. Now, you know how you look at the nose on your face. From your eyesight, your nose looks funny. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Propulsio says, you right, and denial makes it a lot worse. It can. Oh, Carla said that. My bad. Propulsio said that was a good question. I didn't know what to pick, so I picked the ugly answer at the end. Hey, come on now. You know, like, look. You see, I've seen people deny. or act like they were the best looking thing on earth. And I'm like, come on. I don't want to get into this, but you know you ain't cute. You know you ain't handsome. You know you ain't fly. You know you ain't nobody so bad, so pretty, so handsome that they can have it. You know how people say, oh, he can have any man, he can have any woman he want, or she can have any man. Nobody is that. Nobody is that dope. But when you see somebody that's all right at best they all right, like all right, you know, maybe on a late night or something like that, or if we was on Gilligan's Island and everybody, Gilligan and all of them were gone, all right, I'd do it. But let them tell it. Oh no, I'm cute. Oh no, I got it going on. Blah blah. All right, whatever. All right. Or and on the flip side, I've seen people that were very good looking, and because their self-esteem was so low, they thought that they were ugly, or they didn't think that they were very good looking at all. Now, were they just fishing for compliments? Possibly, but they needed that because they weren't sure on their own. They didn't have that confidence on their own. Shars, what up, Shars? What's good, man? Good to see you. And Derek Henry says, say, Unc, I got this dog food for the low. Oh, shit, you got me with that one. He said, I got the dog food. Let me go get my seat, man. You know, I'm up here talking to y'all like I'm getting ready to go somewhere real quick. Like, I just want to holler at y'all. Let me go over here and get my seat. Hold on. Let's get some things out of the way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What's good, my peoples? How you feeling? How you feeling tonight? Daily Go Get 'Em is some show. And we're talking about he didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. She didn't see it because she didn't want to see it. They didn't see it because they didn't want to see it. We didn't see it because we didn't want to see it. My mom ain't see it because she ain't want to see it. She ain't want to see my sister in that kind of state, so she act like she ain't see it. She knew my brother was getting high. She knew my brother stole a microwave. She knew my brother stole a VCR. She knew my brother stole the TV. She knew my brother stole my sister's jewelry, got her earrings and her rings. Stole all that shit. She had a padlock on the door. So he went on the roof and went through the window. She came in her room. She just knew her stuff would be there because the padlock was intact. But the window wasn't. Shit like that. Shit like that. Don't want to accept it. Don't want to accept it. So we really talking about denial and what denial looks like. And it looks like what it looks like. Do me a favor, y'all. Please hit that like button. I know it's only a few of us, but you know what I mean? There's some of us in the background. I can tell they in the background. They like, I found a way to count without being represented in the numbers or in the chat. Y'all can press the like button too. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. You know what I'm saying? We good. Ugh. We good, my peoples. We good. But yeah, they didn't see it because they didn't want to see it. Now, let's get a little personal. Just a little bit. You know, you only have to go as far as you want to go. What's something that you have been in denial of in your life? You may have loved somebody that you knew didn't really love you, or maybe they loved you, but not nearly as much as you love them. It can happen, and it can happen to anybody. Sometimes the scales just aren't balanced. We want them to be, and sometimes we make them balanced in our minds, but we know. You know how you know when you're in a one-sided, lopsided, or unbalanced relationship? When you are afraid to do anything to mess up that relationship because you know that they'll walk away in a second. Because you know that they can easily live without you, but you're not ready to live without them. But you may be fooling yourself that since y'all are together, nah, we love each other the same. I'm with them and they're with me. DNA, mindset matters. What's good? That's an interesting name. What's good? Good to see you. Thanks for coming through. But yeah. You know what I mean? We may have all been through that. One thing about going through a situation like that, it can make you bitter. It can leave you with a bunch of questions. It can mess around with your self-esteem. And one thing it will definitely do is it will make you not want to be in a situation like that ever again. You don't want to see nothing like that. Understandably so, right? You don't want to see nothing like that. Because, you get to thinking like, how is this fair? You're doing everything to keep them in your life, but you try to convince yourself that you're not doing that. You know? So what are some of the things that you've been in denial of? I was talking earlier in the show, I was talking about wrestling, pro wrestling. When I was a kid, I loved pro wrestling. Bob Backlund, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Pedro Morales, Hulk Hogan. And this is before Hulk Hogan blew, before WrestleMania and all of that. Iron Sheik, Blackjack Mulligan, Adrian Adonis, Bob Orton. Who else? Who was some of the stuff? Magnificent Morocco. Chief J Strongbow. Mariah Jenkins, what's good? What's up, man? What's up? Randy Travis here. I've been through so much, my career, my fame. How can I possibly convince myself I'm not doing that? I don't know, Randy. I don't know. Oh, if I was you, I would just lean on one of those platinum albums of mine. Or one of those Grammys of mine, and just, sometimes you just gotta lean on a platinum album or a Grammy. Sometimes you just have to let the hardware speak for itself. Sometimes. But yeah, like I said, I thought wrestling was real. I thought it was. I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was a kid and I fed into all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the storylines and the superhero wrestlers and all of that stuff. I thought it was real. And so when people said, man, that stuff is not real, I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Until I had to accept one day that it wasn't real. I mean, it's been obvious for a long time. But like the title says, I didn't see it because I didn't want to see it. How can you keep following that shit when you know it ain't real? Not after you think it's real. After you think it's real and you find out that it's not real, you can't look at it the same. Not if you're me, because now you picking apart and dissecting everything you see. Like, oh, when he punched, he stomps his foot. And that was the thing that showed me that it wasn't real. One of the former wrestlers went on, I think it was Geraldo. I think it was Geraldo at the time. And, he showed Geraldo he showed him the wrestling moves and how it was fake and, You know how all of the matches are, you already know who's going to win, and how they don't really win all of that money when they have tournaments and stuff like that. It's all just a show. And they wrestle almost every night. So it was after seeing that, it was like, what was I going to say? He lying. He lying. Well, I could have went that route. But where was that going to get me? It is what it is. It is what it is. So y'all ain't gonna, y'all not gonna talk about nothing that y'all ever believed in. Okay, all right. Roddy Piper. May he rest in peace. Yeah, that was my man. Roddy Piper might have been the best bad guy ever. He might have been the best bad guy ever. What they call him, a heel? He might have, yeah, he had that shit down pat. Papucio says it's kind of like a comic book, but in real life. My daddy took me to a wrestling show and I was very, very analytical. And my daddy tried to teach me, like, it's just for fun. So just don't think too much. Hey. I used to go to wrestling matches all the time. Bug my dad to take me. Bug my brother to take me. Bug my mom to take me. Like, please take me to these matches. Till I got old enough to go to myself. But by that time I found out. By that time I knew it was fake. So it was like. Papucio says, hey, you ever saw that movie with him? It was called They Live. With who? With Roddy Piper? With Roddy Piper? Or who you talking about? Jeff Sprayberry says, you have to see the episode of that 70s show when they went to the wrestling match and The Rock was there. It was hilarious. I never watched that 70s show. But all right, cool. But yeah, man, when you have to accept that somebody isn't who you thought they were, or who they said they were, or who they claim to be, or who you imagine them to be. Because sometimes it ain't their fault. Sometimes it's yours. Well, should I say, sometimes it's mine. I don't know. Y'all may have never put anybody on a pedestal before. You said, damn, you just skipped over your girl post. No, I didn't. I said, I shouted you out. I said, what up, Mariah? Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta chill. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta chill. I read your comment. Unless you wrote something that I don't see. And you know what? That happens sometimes. Only thing I see from Mariah Jenkins is, hey, boo, it's me. It's me again. I'm back. That's the only thing I saw, but I said hi. Now, if you wrote something else, I ain't see all that. I don't know, man. Like I said, wrestling for me, I never really been into like an actor. Like, I never put like an actor on a pedestal like they was really, because it was acting. Like, I understood that. That wasn't really real. But with sports, with sports, sometimes you can't accept that such and such ain't better than such and such. I was a big Mike Tyson fan. Then, Buster Douglas knocked him out, and it was like, damn. And when Buster Douglas knocked him out, I still made excuses for him. Like, yo, he caught him with one. Or if you saw the fight, Tyson knocked him down first. So it was like, oh, the refs was in on this. Jasmine, what's good? How you feeling? Okay, so it was Roddy Piper was in that. Propulsio says sometimes YouTube blocks comments, so brother son might not. Hey, I mean, I can only see what's on the monitor and what's on the device. That's all I can see. Much better when I see you. That's what's up. You're like a blessing. That's what's up. I've always wanted to be a blessing, but don't put me on too high of a pedestal, because or a pedestal. The word is spelled pedestal. Why do we say pedestal? Am I mega? Fuck no. Fuck no. Please, man. Don't get me to talking about MAGA. I don't want to throw up tonight. I'm drinking. Hell no. Hell no. Speaking of thinking that somebody is somebody who, thinking that somebody is something that they're not. Jeff Epstein, but no, I don't want to go there tonight. Not tonight. We good. Anyway, so yeah. You know, when you're in denial of something or somebody, when you have made somebody in your mind to be so great, and then you have to accept that not only are they not great, they might not be that good. And even if they are that good, how about this? How many of y'all were big Whitney Houston fans back in the 80s, early 90s, before it came out that, you know, she was on the coke, the crack and the coke, the crack and the coke? Well, if you remember, the image that they put Whitney Houston out there with was like she was America's sweetheart, a black sweetheart. Like she was pure as the driven snow. Well, that snow had all kinds of piss in it and tire stains and exhaust fumes, and you know what I mean? It was the nasty slushy snow when it starts to melt and has been rolled over with car tires. It didn't make me or a lot of people not love Whitney anymore, but we had to accept that she was who she was. Now we saw after we found out that she was using or whatever, it was easy to see because it got worse. So even though we wanted to believe that Whitney was getting clean and that she was getting better and that she was on the right track, all the evidence was to the contrary. All the evidence pointed to she's still using. She ain't ready to be clean yet. Maybe she was clean when we didn't see her, but when we saw her, she wasn't clean. What up, West? What's good? Carla says snow turned to slush quickly. It did. And yo, that wasn't an easy acceptance. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy to accept that. Papuso says, yeah, America's sweetheart. I loved Whitney. Come on now. Whitney was that shit. Jeff said, I love Whitney. And she is still America's sweetheart. Everybody has trials and tricks. So you see what I'm saying? Why did it stop ringing? Hold on.
You have a call from.
Caller with the last number is 0121. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, what's good with it?
You already know. You already know. It go the way it's supposed to go.
You remember me?
I think I might have heard your voice once or twice.
What's my name?
According to the chat, your name is Mama. What's up, Mama?
It's Mariah.
Oh, so your name actually is pronounced that way?
Yeah, I'm Mariah in the chat.
Yeah, I know that.
No, I had posted twice, but I don't know why you couldn't see it. But nah, you were saying something about I had posted about Santa ass, and I don't know. I said maybe YouTube ass don't
They
want me to
must have,
know
because
about Santa.
that's not on my joint. It's not here.
Yeah, but yeah, I was talking about for a while when I was younger, I believed in Santa Claus until my mama told me, she was like,
Oh.
"Look, ain't no fat white man gonna take credit for me buying you presents."
Oh shit, yeah. Damn, I wasn't even
So,
thinking about that. But you know, when you a kid, they sell you the story. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So it's a little different than what I'm talking about. Because when I say he didn't see it or she didn't see it because they didn't want to see it, when you're a kid, you see what people tell you to see. So sometimes when you see the truth, and then an adult lies even more to cover it up, you know what I mean? Because yeah, you was probably like, let's
no,
say,
I mean that actually happened to me. Like my mama told me the truth, and when I got to school, I started telling everybody else. And then the teacher was like telling me, "Oh, we don't say that. No, Santa is real." But I was like, my mama just told me the truth. No, it's not. So who you want me to believe, my mom or you?
look, my mom ain't even let me believe in Santa Claus for a day. She wasn't rocking with that shit. You know what I mean? You can believe that shit if you want to. You ain't getting it from here. You saw
Mm-hmm.
you saw me bring them presents in. You know what it is. But anyway,
Yeah, I had to struggle for them damn presents. Yeah, I missed paying my damn light bill for them damn presents. You gonna believe you? I bought them presents, too.
well, look, I mean, when you really think about it, like, what if you grew up in an apartment? You ain't even got no chimney. So how do you get the presents in the tree or under the tree?
So Santa breaking in and knocking over
That's what
heads.
I'm saying. Like some shit wasn't adding up. That's why. Oh, hold on. Let me ask you this. What's the oldest person you ever knew that believed in Santa Claus?
The oldest person, I think age wise, I say about 9.
Do you think it's possible to make it to 12 or 13 and believe in Santa Claus?
Nah, no, unless you have a delay. But nah, no.
Right. Because it just don't make no sense after about, like, when you ain't a kid, you know what I mean? Like a real little kid, like, it don't make no sense. It don't add
Mm-hmm.
up. Listen, I don't even think it's good to make kids believe in Santa Claus, because it can be devastating to some of them to find out that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But
The Easter Bunny too.
well, I mean, does
The Tooth
anybody
Fairy.
really believe? Wait a minute, does anybody really believe in the Easter Bunny?
Nah, but I did believe in the Tooth Fairy though. But I thought her ass was nasty. I said, why you going around taking people's teeth and shit and putting money underneath the pillow? That's nasty. What the fuck you gonna do with the teeth?
I don't know, man. The Tooth Fairy's kind of dope. Money? Oh shit! Just for losing
But
teeth?
money, but you want my teeth in order for exchange of money. Like, what you gonna do with it? Like, are you trying to? I mean, I think that was crazy.
Yeah, we made up a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely took it there. But since I have you on the line, what's the biggest thing you've ever seen somebody be in denial of, even though the truth was right in their face?
Relationship wise, honestly, and for my own experience, I would have to say relationship wise, because I was that person. Like, this dude was cheating on me, and he was cheating on me, and I was in denial. Like, oh no, he said he was going to his mom's house, but he was really at his other girl's house. But he told me he was gonna be at his mom's house, but I was in denial. Like, well, why would he lie to me? And the proof was in the pudding. He was at another girl's house. So when I confronted him when he got back home, he was like, "Oh, I went to my cousin's house, and my cousin was throwing a party." And I was in denial because like he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't never cheat on me, but he was actually cheating. So I was in denial for a while until I separated myself from him and got away from him. But yeah, it can happen. I
Yeah,
just didn't want to believe, but I was in denial of it. Like, why would he leave a good thing? But it ain't always about leaving. It ain't always about a good thing. I mean, if a man gonna cheat, they gonna cheat regardless. So
yeah, but I could see how a person could be in a relationship where it's one sided, You know, because it might not even be a cheating situation, but it might be a situation where you are doing everything to maintain the relationship or to build it, and they're not doing even one thing to help out. So it might be a situation where you're really trying to hold on to them, and they're not trying to hold on to you. You know, like I was talking about this in the beginning of the show, how you know you're in an unbalanced relationship when you are afraid to mess up because you know that person will not have a problem leaving you. But you know,
already got one foot in and one foot out.
Right. So you walking on eggshells, even though if they messed up, you would be more than willing to forgive them. You know what I mean?
If you sneeze wrong, he leaving.
And that don't mean that you're weak or anything like that. But if you already know that, but you're still living differently, like one day they're going to change and they're going to start loving me as much as I love them or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's a form of not seeing it because you don't want to see it, because it's right there in front of your face. You already feel it. You already have the insecurity of having to, you know, be on your best behavior to maintain this shit. So it ain't what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But, you know, for that period in your life, it might be holding you down, even though there's a certain amount of toxicity in it.
Oh, you right.
You know, it's like, and on top of that, you might be protecting the person. Like when other people have something to say about them or whatever, you know what I mean? You like, nah, I can say whatever I want to about them, but you can't say nothing about them.
You can't do exactly.
Even though they telling you the truth. Like, yo, the boy dickhead, or, you know, the shorty an asshole. Like, come on, you know, like why you give them a pass on everything? But it's because you all in deep. You have this. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know how old you are, but on the soap operas back in the day, what they used to call
Life to Live, and
like when I was at the babysitter crib, when I was like, you know, 7, 8 years old, 6, 7, 8 years old, I used to have to watch the stories with whoever was babysitting. I used to be like, what is this garbage? But whenever they dreamed, you would see like this cloudy type of thing, you know what I mean? In the edges of the TV. And that's kind of like what it's like to hold the image of somebody that they can't maintain. You know what I mean? It's like a dream. It's like a fantasy. It's like, yeah, as long as I don't tell the truth, then I don't have to live the truth, which is not the truth. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, once again, we do what we have to do at certain times in order to feel like we can make it. But
it's kind of like the same aspect too. Like if you want a job and you keep on telling yourself, oh, I'm going to get this promotion, I'm just going to stick it out, I'm going to get this promotion, then people over you is getting promoted over you for that same position, and you keep on telling yourself, oh, I'm going to get this promotion. You're in denial. Like, they don't want to, they want to keep you where you at, like, go move around and find another job. But no, I'm going to stay here because I have a feeling, you know, God put it in my spirit that I'm going to get this promotion. I'm like, girl, you've been here for 13 years, and 10 other people got promotions over you. Like, you're in denial. They're not going to choose you, you know?
Look, that's a bad one. I'll give you an even worse one. When you know that that a company is going out of business, you clearly see the shit. You know what I mean? That's why they not giving out no raises. That's why they not giving out no promotions, because they ain't got it. You know what I mean? They you know, they like a couple of sales away from chapter 11. You know what I mean? But you know, you like, nah, you know, oh, they not gonna fire people. They not about to lay off nobody. Like, yeah, they said that. They said that at Rite Aid. How that turned out?
But not only that too. But if people look at it like that, look out on a global scale too. If you want to look at it like this, like everybody, like a lot of people is getting food stamps. Oh, Trump ain't gonna cut the food stamps. Food stamps gonna always be around, but they gonna cut that shit off one day. Sooner or later they gonna cut food stamps off. People gonna be like stepping like, oh my gosh, I can't buy food. Yeah, because y'all dependent on y'all in denial. Like that shit gonna get either it's gonna get cut off completely or it's gonna be reduced like a lot.
Yeah, if you able-bodied, you have to take your ass to work. The food stamps will always be available. They will. It will. Welfare. The reason that welfare will always be around is because it makes money. They never. They don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to tell you that, but it does. It makes money, and it gets people elected. So they can't take it away. I mean, not only that, but there are way more white people on welfare than black people. So that's part of the reason it's never going away. But on top of that, but thinking that you're just going to be able to collect a check and stay poor voluntarily for the rest of your life, nah,
And have a generational curse basically. And your kids on it, your grandkids gonna be on it, your great grandkids gonna be on it. That's a generational curse, living off of somebody else that you can't even, you can't even progress yourself. So, yeah.
Either I look at
denial. That's denial.
I look at it. I don't even look at it as living off. All right, I'm gonna put it. Let me put it this way: the government lives off of us, so I don't really have no problem with somebody living off the government. But when they say that our tax money is going towards welfare, I'm like, oh yeah? Well, is all of it going there, or where's the rest of it going? Because y'all don't seem to report to me what y'all do with my money.
Well, I remember back when I was like about 6-7 years ago when I tried to apply for food stamps, some motherfucker was gonna tell me I made too much, but they could only give me $12 a month in food stamps. And I was like, these motherfuckers over here not working, and it's like they're having their boyfriends live in the house with them, and it's like they're having about 12 kids, and they get about $800, $900 in food stamps. You telling me I'm a working able-bodied person that I just need a little bit of help in food stamps? Just give me about like $120. I'd be good with that. This bitch gonna try to tell me she's gonna give me $12 and have a good day. I can keep that shit and piss off. I was highly offended.
Yeah. Besides the food stamps and the medical card, I don't see why nobody would want to be on welfare. That makes you undeniably poor. I've seen what the checks look like. I'm like, how is anybody living off of this shit? Oh, maybe the Section 8. Yeah, the Section 8 is good.
I can't even live off of no Section 8. I can't live off of food stamps like that because I'm a private person. I don't want the government in my fucking business. Because like when you renew your food stamps, they want to know how much is in your bank account. They want to know how much you made. And I'm like, dude, I'm not about to sit here and tell you just for $200 a month in food stamps. You want me to tell you every fucking aspect of my life, who's staying with me, how many kids I get? I'm not about to sit up here and let no government run my life. So you can take your little $12 and have a good day.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. You have to register to be poor. You can't just be poor and anonymous. You want to be poor and anonymous, you got to live off a person, not the government. You know what I mean? The government like, no, we need proof that you broke as fuck. And then we'll give you just enough to stay poor, not broke. When you on welfare, you're poor. There's no way around it. It's for the poor. That's what it's for.
But I think the government is just to track how many people in your house. So when they get of age, who they gonna vote for? Because like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this vote because this is food stamps, and they want to keep food stamps, and the other party don't want food stamps. So at least we got 4 votes here because they on welfare, shit like that. I think it's a tracker to keep how many people on it, and to see how many people that going to potentially vote for them when they turn 18 or over 18. That's just me. It's a game system to me.
Yeah.
Because they was like, why would you want to vote against yourself and you receiving these food stamps, or you receiving this Medicaid, or you receiving these housing? It's to keep track of people and their vote for the next 4 years or the next 2 years if you voting locally.
Man, if we get into politics, we'll be on this show for half a day. So we gonna keep it moving. One area where being in denial really, really can be detrimental, and even, like it can be detrimental to your health, is like when it comes to abuse. Yeah. There are plenty of people who have been in abusive situations where they didn't want to believe that the person was abusive, even though they were. physically and or emotionally. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's and you know the sad thing about that the whole situation is sad, but one of the saddest things about that situation or a situation like that is that there's normally love that comes along with it. So the person that's putting hands on you or the person that's fucking your head up is the person that you would probably give your life for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you're basically giving your life every time you deal with them, because they are subtracting a little part of your life by the things that they're doing. You know what I mean? When you are afraid of somebody, or when you are afraid of not having somebody, that chips away at your quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so when you're dealing with somebody who's abusive, imagine being in love with somebody who you are literally afraid of. Like, I better make sure that the house is clean, that the food is cooked, and that I'm naked or whatever, or, you know what I mean, I might get my ass whooped and I gotta wash my mouth, and you know what I mean? Like, that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And people, a lot of people who are in abusive relationships are in denial to other people that they are in an abusive relationship, even though everybody can see it and they can see it too. You know, Stockholm syndrome all wrapped up in that shit.
I was just about to say Stockholm syndrome, because like you like to a normal person that know a healthy relationship, you be like, dude, you're in a toxic relationship, and then no, this is way of showing how he loves me. Don't your man do that? Hell no, you're in denial. It's kind of like you're protecting your abuser, like you said, Stockholm syndrome. You're protecting your abuser.
Well, Stockholm syndrome is worse, because you don't protect your abuser. You're actually on their side. You feel the way they feel about you. You know, Stockholm syndrome is some deep shit.
I look at Stockholm syndrome, like, say for instance, like I was watching this movie. I think it was called Stockholm syndrome. It's like this woman, she was kidnapped by this man, and she kept on like trying to get away from him. But after years of her being kidnapped by this man, he started treating her like his girlfriend, and until eventually she stayed. Not realizing, dude, like 10 years ago you was kidnapped, but now you're with this man and having a family with him, and you going to the grocery stores, buying food and groceries, and coming right back home. Like, that's Stockholm syndrome. Like, you know, you're with him.
It's a deep psychological concept. It really is. But anybody can be in denial, and anybody can believe in somebody and hype them up to be superhuman when they're just human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like earlier in the show, I don't know if you was listening, but earlier in the show, we was talking about people are sports fans. You know what I mean? Sports fan. Only two teams go to the championship every year, and only one team wins it. So whatever the sport is, all the other teams, fans have been let down, and I'm sure that all of those other teams think that their team has made themselves believe that their team will be good enough the next season to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not and you have to make yourself believe that, because how you going to go to the games? How you going to enjoy the sport? How you going to have fun in any of it if you believe believe it. Yeah, if you wholeheartedly believe that your team is trash, that y'all don't have it, there's no use in trying. Like, that's not going to do it for you.
So you take it a step further too. You actually paying money to hope your team will win. So you dishing out millions just to hope your team will win.
Yeah. Man, hold on.
Not only going to the games, you're like betting on my team is going to win for so and so, and then when your team lose, you're in denial. But you just spent basically all your money betting on the team that only wants the team to win. So yeah. Well, see,
the people who bet a lot, now we're talking about two things. Because earlier in the show, we was talking about dealing with somebody who's an addict. So, you know, if you bet on the games and all of that kind of shit, now we talking about you believing that the team is better than what they are, and you got a gambling problem. And I don't know if you've ever dealt with anybody who has a gambling problem or a gambling addiction. That shit is crazy. Because they win, they just don't bring home no money because they bet it all back.
Bet it all back.
Mm-hmm.
I have an aunt like that too. She'll win. She'll spend like $120 a day in lottery tickets. Win about 10 and pay it back and win nothing. And then she be like, well, you gotta pay to win. Yeah, you gotta pay to win, but you just spent your whole damn light bill on some tickets that you didn't even come out on top of. And now you gotta rob Peter to pay Paul just so you can pay again the next day. But you ain't about to rob Mariah to pay no damn cashier to get no damn ticket. No, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that gambling shit real. We talk about drug addiction and all of that shit, but there are plenty of other addictions that we witness people in, and we think that they're going, maybe they can handle it, because addiction is all about not having control over something. But we might be so in love or in like or in admiration of somebody that we don't see that they're not in control. So we make them be in control in our minds, but we clearly see that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it could be your favorite sports star. You know what I mean? Like plenty of sports celebrities have been on drugs or have been abusive or have had some other kind of problems that fucked up their careers. You know what I'm saying? And we so busy wrapped up in, oh man, it's fucked up, blah, 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 making excuses for them and shit. But they were showing us the whole time, like something ain't right with this motherfucker. You know what I mean? But dealing with somebody who has any type of addiction, I don't care whether it's drugs, I don't care whether it's alcohol, and these weed heads swear that you can't be addicted to weed, yet they high all the fucking time. Rolling up all day long. What do you mean you're not an addict? If you ain't an addict, you as good as one.
Exactly. I was watching this TV show. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Hoarders. Like they were so in denial. Like, oh, I don't have a problem. This are antiques. Like, no, you're a hoarder. Like, I don't know if you watch the TV show Hoarders. Where people be hoarding cats and dogs in their house. Have about 50 cats in their house, about 20 dogs in their house. Or they house be nasty and filthy and disgusting. Like, you're in denial. You telling people that you ain't got a problem, but the whole world see you on TV. You have a fucking problem. You have a problem. You're in denial. And there's something mentally wrong with you.
Yeah, right.
It's just. Have you seen that show Hoarders?
Yeah, hell yeah. That shit crazy. You know what I mean? That shit crazy. That shit make me want to clean up the crib. Like, I can't. This shit is wild. But yeah, watching somebody or knowing somebody that's an addict, that shit is. I mean, like I said, depending on your relationship with them, you might spend a lot of time because you want your people to win.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to accept that if they are an addict of anything in any way, that they're not going to win, and they don't give a fuck about winning. They care about their next hit, their next line, their next shoot, their next pill, their next smoke, whatever it is, their next drink. They that's what they care about. And like I said, it could be somebody who has a shopping addiction. Mm-hmm. They done ran up all their damn credit cards. You know what I mean? They got all this new shit. You know what I mean? They need to have a garage sale or sell on eBay or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they can't help it. And one addicted person.
They can't part with what they sacrificed for. They sacrificed a light bill for that new purse. They can't part with it to have a garage sale because it's a sacrifice that they even got there. So yeah.
It's loss of control. They can't stop themselves. A person who doesn't have that type of personality, it's hard for them to understand and accept what an addict goes through. So so you really think that they could get this under control if they just tried or if they went to rehab and blah. And some of that might be true. But until they are ready to take care of their problem, the problem is going to persist, it's going to exist, and ain't shit that anybody's going to be able to do about it except get hurt if they are within arm's reach. Mm-hmm. So So, and that food addiction shit. This shit is crazy,
I was just about to say my 600-pound life.
man.
I was just about to say my 600-pound life.
Mm,
Yeah, food addiction is crazy too.
it really is, and it's normally the product of another problem that they have internally, because they ain't eating because they hungry. They're eating because it satisfies something in them that they're not getting otherwise.
And and then eat, when they eat like that too. Cause I think one person said like when I overeat, I'm not hungry. It's just I can. This is the only thing I can control. I can control what I put in my body. Everything else around me I can't control, but I can control what I eat and how much I eat. That's the only thing I can control in my life is how much I eat.
That 600-pound life shit crazy. That shit is sad as hell, boy.
Hmm. Yeah, so they're in denial. You can be in denial about many things and many aspects. So it's just not one thing fits all. It can be many things.
Yeah. An addictive personality will find its way to the thing to be addicted to. So plenty of people have left drugs alone and started doing something else to satisfy their addiction. So, but like I said, addiction is all about not having control over something. And until a person understands what that's about and learns how to get control in a positive way, then that shit will go on. But in the meantime, the people who love them, the people who support them will still be making excuses for them. And that's how nothing ever gets better. So that's why I named the show. He didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. Some things are just too painful for us to accept. Going back to the whole abusive thing. Some people knew that let's say they knew their father was abusive to their mom, but they swept it under the rug. They goddamn selves. Maybe they loved their dad so much that they couldn't accept that, their dad was abusive to their mom. Now I've known some people over the years where their dad was very abusive to their mother and they still stayed together. They wrote it out. And he actually stopped abusing. Well, what are the chances? What are the motherfucking chances?
Right.
And he used to drink a lot. So, that don't help.
You repeat what you saw when you growing up. So say for instance you have a little girl and you see your mama getting abused and getting her ass whooped by your dad, and then when you get older you know that's not right, but you tend to pick the same person that your dad was. So then the cycle repeats itself with you. Even though you know it's not right, but that's the only thing you know. Like you pick those type of dudes.
Yeah.
I've seen that. It happened in my family. I've seen that before.
Listen, the thing is, the abuser themselves, a lot of people don't want to see them as being that. And don't let the abuser pass away, die, get killed or some shit like that. Because now he's not there to defend himself. So, you know what I mean? So now he gets martyred. You understand what I'm saying? Nah, don't talk bad about stuff. No, there was never no proof that happened. She was lying. She didn't say anything to get attention. He ain't never put no hands on her. And if he did, it's because of some shit she did. He was probably trying to keep her off it. That's the kind of shit that happens when motherfuckers want to see you in a certain kind of light that you ain't in. Look at this shit. Look at this shit going on with the Epstein files. Besides the whole financial thing, the money laundering, the rich and powerful men that are trying to protect their reputations and all of that shit. They trying to protect their reputations because they have people who believe in them. And if they lose, if this shit come out, it could affect their bottom line. It could affect people's willingness to invest in them anymore. You know what I'm saying? And their money may be all that they feel like they're worth.
Yeah, their reputation is tainted.
But it didn't stop them from doing shit because they all knew what the fuck they was doing. But you know what I mean? When it comes time to pay the piper, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got an excuse. But I brought that up because whether you're talking about the Epstein files, or whether you're talking about R. Kelly, or whether you're talking about Diddy, or whether you're talking about, you pick whoever pick whoever you pick whoever you can convict. You know what I'm saying? There were people who were making excuses for them. There were people who were telling other people that they weren't doing what they were doing, even though they helped them do the shit that they did. You know? But it's okay for some people and not other people in their minds.
It was okay for them to do it to other people, but when it came to their own backyard, that's when they put a stop to it. Oh, it was okay for you to do it to other people, but when it comes to me, you ain't gonna do it to me. I'm gonna stop this shit right here and now. So it's okay for you to fuck over somebody else, but when it came to your own backyard, then now you wanna speak up about it.
What they say, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, right?
Got the gun.
I mean, I get it. I do. I totally get it. But so the person, it's one thing when a little when a little kid is looking up to you and thinking that you can beat everybody, or that you're just the greatest thing since sliced bread or whatever. But when adults get into that shit and they show that immaturity that we would expect from a child, and that's how so many people get hurt for so many years, because people don't want to admit that they were wrong. And like the title of the show says, he didn't see it because he didn't want to see it. He didn't want to see it. You know what I mean? And dudes go through this shit too. You might be dealing with a chick, she fucking around on you. You know it. You see, come on, dog. You know what I mean? It ain't even got nothing to do with her being out of your league or no shit like that, because I don't even believe in that shit. But when if somebody ain't treating you nowhere near the way you want to be treated, what more evidence do you need? I mean, what we doing? We grabbing at straws and shit. And I've seen dudes go through that. They know they woman ain't shit. They know that she fucking around. Look, she ain't fucking you. Y'all ain't fucked in 6 months. But sleep in the same bed every night. Was she born again virgin? While y'all together?
Celibate.
She's celibate, all right. She celibate she celibate to him and celibate to them. And she's selling everybody except for you. You can't get nothing for free. But yeah, I mean,
and you paying the bills.
Hey, and denying that shit. Oh, she just going through something. Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right, man, it's all good. It's all good. So, yeah, don't see it because you don't want to see it. This shit has. This is one of the reasons for some of the world leaders out here. You know what I mean? I mean, you could take it all the way back to World War II. Look at this shit that happened with the Third Reich, with the Nazis and shit. They couldn't see that this motherfucker was foul. How many people gotta die? How many wars have to get waged? Like, what do you like? Right. But history has a way of repeating itself too.
Repeat itself. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So this shit is fucking crazy. But yeah, like, how do millions of people get caught up in this shit? Well, it happens. It happens. And even if it wasn't a situation where everybody was a willing participant, because I'm sure that there were people who didn't approve of what was happening, but their voices were silenced anyway, so it didn't really matter because the shit went down. We didn't have no internet or no shit like that back then to be able to hear the voices of people who weren't in favor of the shit. And when you really think about it, a lot of countries don't they don't have the type. I mean, the freedom and the First Amendment rights that we value over here, we really take that shit for granted, because there are countries that won't allow you to speak bad about, you know, the government or the head of government, head of state, and all. Like, that ain't gonna happen. Think about it. I don't hear no Russians ever say nothing bad about Putin. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you don't. They you can't even speak bad about whoever the head of your household. If you're a woman, you can't speak bad about your husband.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But at least she see it.
But so.
Yeah, it's some shit. But yeah, being in denial is some. So when was the last time you had to help somebody out that needed to at least act like they saw something that was right in front of their face that was problematic? When was the last time you had to help somebody with that?
When the last time I ever had to help somebody to see their actions was problematic?
No, not necessarily that. Because we're talking about when you're in denial of something. So, like, let's say you had a cousin or a girlfriend or something like that didn't want to accept that her boyfriend was a drug addict, or that he was cheating. You know what I mean? Even though he came up with a new baby while they was together.
Well, it was like like I said with my aunt, I had to tell her, like, she gambles too much. She a gambling addict, because even though she didn't realize she was, everybody else around her realized. It's funny because, like, my aunt, like I said, she'll spend like $120 to $150 a day buying lottery tickets, and I'm like, dude, like, you don't have basically about not to have a competition and want to throw it out of because you're late behind on your bills and everything, and we see it differently because she's asking us for money when she don't have it. Like, when she'll spend her whole check on lottery tickets, but then turn around and ask us, hey, I need about $200 to pay my light bill, or I need $150 to pay my water bill. So that's how we know she have a gambling problem, because she's asking us for money to pay her bills while she's using her check to buy lottery tickets. So that's an addict right there. Like, you can't even function right. You can't even pay your bills on time, or you're behind in your rent, to the point where you won't have to go stay with your family, to stay with your kids, because you're about to get evicted. But you can't come stay with me. So, yeah, so she don't realize until shit hits the fan, until when she's going to get evicted, because I stopped giving her money.
Okay.
My mom stopped giving her money. And her kids are the only ones enabling her, because it was like, you only get one mama, one daddy. Yeah, that's true enough, but I'm not about to sit here and oppose you in your wrongdoing. I don't give a damn who you is. Mama, daddy, sister, brother, you have a problem. And and your kids enabling you, and they're not doing right by you, because if they was doing right by you, they will let you fall to the wayside and let you struggle a little bit so you can, pick yourself up. But I'm not gonna enable you. They're enabling you, so they're gonna be the ones to help you in your downfall. I'm not gonna help you while you in your downfalls. So yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. So that was the last time you had to straighten somebody out about that?
Yeah, I still talk to her, but that was the most recently. I said this happened about in October of this year. That's the most recently that I could think of.
But were you able to make her see what she needed to see, or make her accept that she had a problem?
I was able to make her see for a period of time. I say it lasted about, and it didn't last long. I was able to make her see that she had a problem, and it lasted about 3 days, because during those 3 days, her life was about to get turned off. She asked me for the money, and I told her I was going to give her the money until she told me that she spent her money that she was going to use on tickets, and she thought she was going to get her money back when she paid it back, and she didn't. So the money I thought I was going to give her was to add on to her bill, but that was the whole bill. And I said, I'm not about to give you this $300 because your light is off because you just spent your $300. You was going to pay for the light bill, and you spent it on tickets, so you want my $300 for your light bill. No. So her lights was turned off for 3 days until she called her son, and her son got her lights turned back on. So she was able to see for 3 days in the dark.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm just being serious. She was able to, for them 3 days, for them 72 hours, she was able to see that she had the problem until her lights got turned back on and she wasn't able to see. So, I was like, fuck, you about to get my bill $300. But for 72 hours, she was like, damn, how I'm going to come up with this money? And for those 3 days, she wasn't able to buy tickets. So I think that was a win in my case.
I was about to ask you, do you think that she actually saw the light from that? Because I could see somebody.
She had to see the light because she didn't have none.
Well, still, I could see somebody making excuses about that. Like this is just a hazard of the game. Like shit happens sometimes. All right, so my lights was off, but they on. Okay, let me give you an example.
I know what you're saying, but I feel like she saw that she had a problem, but it was limited. It was just like an addict. An addict can be like, oh, I have a problem, I have a drinking problem, and I've been sober for 10 years. But that one little slip up can fuck up your 10 years of sobriety.
Right.
So for that little bit, so I feel that little bit of time she realized she had a problem until somebody else came and bailed her out.
Okay.
So I see what you're saying about like, you know, but I feel like at that point in time she didn't have nobody to turn to. Or she did have somebody to turn to, but she was too embarrassed to do it. So she struggled a little bit until she couldn't struggle no more and ask for help. So I feel like she did, you know, I feel like her pride got in the way for her to ask for help sooner.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes like I've had to fire people at work, and I've seen people get fired at work. And sometimes, even though a person was a problem employee, if they're able to get a job again real fast, then they never really learn their lesson because they ain't struggled. You know what I mean? So the likelihood that they're going to do that same bullshit at the next job is a little higher. You know, but if they out of work for like a half a year or a year, and you know they really had to scramble and struggle and beg, borrow, steal, and you know what I mean? When they get that next job, they'll probably do a lot more to hold on to that job and not fuck it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More than likely. Now, it's not a guarantee, but more than likely, they'll remember like, yo, I was down. I was damn near homeless. You know what I mean? I almost lost it all. And the kids had to go stay with somebody else. I ain't had no money for nothing. You know? So
yeah.
Let me see.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's a trip. It really is. You know, like sometimes people have to see, you know, they have to live their truth. Because if somebody else help them out right away, then they get validated that they made the right choice. So it's like, I didn't get fired. They let me go because yeah. Like,
But let them tell that they didn't call in about 10, 15 times, or they didn't show up for work about 20 days, and they wonder why they got fired. But let them tell that they just got laid off.
So yeah, it's one of them things. It really it can be. So yeah, but yeah, being in denial, I don't want to reduce it to just that, but because like I said, getting somebody to see the light, even though it's right in front of their face, is brightening up the room. It can be tough because people look for their comfort zone with a lot of things. And sometimes if we feel like, well, it ain't hurting nobody for them to think this way or see things this way or do things this way, so let them go ahead and live. You know what I mean? And certain things get swept under the rug, but that can become problematic later on when shit hits the fan, or when you really need them to see things for what they are, because you got business to tend to. Y'all have something that y'all really need to do, whether it's together or just for themselves. So, like, I've seen kids, and this is a tough one. I've seen kids who haven't seen their father in years. You know what I mean? And they may have believed that their dad was coming back. Like he was around, for years, and then, for whatever reason, he stopped coming around. But I know my dad loves me, and I know he's coming back, and blah, 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 blah. And that can be a hard pill to swallow, because you don't want to really tell a child that, look, your dad is a deadbeat, or, you know what I mean? He's moved on to this next phase, and it don't involve you or any of us. That's a tough thing to have to deal with when it comes to a child, but it can give them a whole childhood of sadness, you know what I mean? That can filter over into their adult life, and it can affect the decisions that they make.
Exactly. They at school and they see their peers bringing their fathers and dad and mothers to activities at school, and they also bring their mom, but they you can't take because I had a family member, they had a daddy-daughter dance, and my cousin brought her cousin to her daddy-daughter dance, and she couldn't bring her father because he was nowhere to be around, because that those things like that can have a toll on the kids, psyche, that it can have a toll on the kids, way of thinking, like, damn, like everybody else have a dad, where's mine,
And what about people who have dealt, like, it could be a woman, it could be somebody who didn't want to, or it could be a mother or father that didn't want to accept that their son was like a criminal, like motherfucker can't stay out of jail. Like, it can't be somebody else's fault every time he get locked up, because he ain't never home no more.
Perfect example of that. I don't know, have you seen that viral video about that mother getting jumped by them badass kids?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. Thank God.
Oh my God! It's about these a group of kids, like they're like 10 and 11 years old. They jumped and beat this grown woman, and she has lupus, so she was very sick, so she couldn't really fight them back or fight off. And then people online, they was not defending the kids, they was like defending the mom and everything. And people online was going after the kid's mom, and one of the kids' mom was like, my daughter is the captain of the cheerleading squad, she makes straight A's, but she over there busting motherfuckers over the head and shit, busting grown ass women over the head, but you raising a respectable child. Like, you're in denial, bitch. Like, your child just jumped this 38-year-old woman defending her kids walking from school, because the kids was bullying her kids, so she went to the schoolhouse to walk her kids home from school from being bullied, and had these group of 10, 11, 12 years. The oldest girl was 13 years old. That was the oldest of the bunch. Was beating on this grown woman with lupus, and so the whole community came out and to defend this woman, was like, this is not gonna happen on our watch. So the kid's mom, the badass kid's mom, was online talking about, my kids are good kids. Y'all act like y'all never beat up a crackhead before. I'm like, dude, this ain't no crackhead, and you proud of that shit? You're in denial. So you can Google that. Google the Chicago mom getting
that's
dumped by
crazy
kids.
as shit.
It's very sad. Very sad.
It sounds like it. Hold on a second, okay? And by the way, this might be a troll, so hold on.
You have a call from.
Caller with the last number is 2583. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Emism Show. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, what's up, Nick?
What's up? What?
Oh, what's up, dude?
What's up?
Oh, am I on anything?
What do you mean? Are you on anything?
Sorry. Yeah, no. I called, but I was just. I didn't know if I was on connected to anything. But what do you guys talk about? Addiction?
So you called in, but you didn't know what we were talking about?
No, not at all.
So how did you get the number?
Oh no, I was just watching the live stream. I didn't know. I couldn't tell because it was yelling. I didn't know what you guys were talking about.
Dog, I just heard you playing the show in the background. You was listening to the shit. I just heard you. I heard you turn it down.
No. No. What I'm listening to is different. No. I didn't know what you guys were talking about. Like, the topic was addiction?
No, that's not what the topic was about. Tell you what, listen a little bit longer, and then come back when you know what we're talking about. All right. Sorry about that.
You good?
Yeah, he was trolling. He ain't know what the fuck he was talking. Now,
okay.
Now everybody's just going to try. Now everybody's just going to try to call. I ain't answering none of that shit. tell you what.
What's wrong with me? I can't hear.
Hold on.
Sam.
Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, hello. So I just wanted to say, yeah, I appreciate the positivity and I love the content, by the way. But so I just heard that you a Diddy booty ass nigga, and I just want to know what's up with all that, man.
See, and that's why I answered you on this device, so nobody can hear what you said, dickhead. So you just go ahead and chill right there. I ain't even gonna hang up on you. I'm just gonna turn you all the way down, and I can't hear you. They can't hear you. Nobody can hear you. Only God can hear you. And he don't want to hear shit from you, you dickhead. The fuck out of here. So anyway, so you know, I mean, look, you can tell it's like we in the algorithm now. They started, the trolls coming through. They ain't got nothing to do on Monday night. You know what I mean? College kids home. They bored as shit. They bored all weeded up and all that old dumb shit. But anyway,
home for the holidays.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, dealing with children or people who don't want to accept that their kids or their brothers or their friends or like they ain't no fucking good. You know what I mean? And that's a really sad thing. It really is, because it's hard to really you know, one thing about denial is once you are all the way in it, it becomes safe and comfortable for you. And you don't want, I mean, all living things search for comfort. Yeah. All living things do that. It's a natural thing that living things do. But that comfort can't come in I mean, the goal should be to learn as much as possible. But yeah, it don't always work out that way. But I'm gonna ask this question. I hope I don't offend you or anybody else. Mm-hmm. But you know, religious people, Christians in particular, you'll hear them talk about Jesus is coming back. And I just want to ask you, do you think that people are in denial by thinking that he's coming back?
I think people won't hope, and it keeps them from going crazy. I think people want, you know, that they need something to look forward to. Mm-hmm. They need something to, you know, to fall on once you know, they need something to, like, you know, to fall back on, like, okay, my day is going bad. I can't keep going on like this. Let me pray about it. Let me talk about it. Let me do this. I think it's a fallback, because But it's a complicated question because, like, you know, you have some pastors they just money hungry. When you go to church, they just want some money and stuff like that. But I do believe in a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe there's something there's something else out there. But I can't really say they're in denial because it's different. It's different things for different people. So it depends on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of a loaded question. I can say yes and then I can say no, but it's a double-edged sword for me, and it's I can argue yes they're in denial, and I can argue no they're not in denial.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Because
it's based on faith.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I don't have any. Listen. As long as your religion preaches love and peace and all that kind of stuff, I don't have no problem with any of that. You know what I mean? It's just that when you think about what people will do in order to, when you think about what people will do because they've listened to other people who claim to have seen things that they can't see. You know what I mean? That's kind of where the problem starts to come in with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And
I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious because I can believe in. I can combine any religion and I can combine all of the religions into one and make something of it. But I'm not very religious. I'm spiritual because I believe there is a higher power. But I don't because I can easily say, well, I prayed that my light bill gonna get paid tomorrow. But if I don't go put in that work, it ain't gonna get paid tomorrow miraculously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see a lot of people be like, "Oh, I pray that my house is gonna get out of foreclosure." Okay, but if you don't put in that work, your house is not gonna get out of foreclosure. So you praying for somebody that's gonna magically pay it off of your house, and you're not doing shit about it, but sitting on your ass.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta put in that work in order for your prayers to be effective.
Yeah, I'm spiritual too, but you know, sometimes man believes in man more than anything else. Yet they'll say that they believe in God. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, who teaches you about God? It's normally man. So you know,
they're teaching you what they want you to. So they want you. It's like they're teaching you what they want you to learn, or what they can get out of you out of their teaching. So like a lot of pastors, they only teach you what they want you to learn, what they want you to walk out them doors with. While they're teaching you, they having that plate going around. So basically, sometimes they teach you what you want to hear, not what you really need to know.
Well, not
so
just
like they know if they're gonna teach. They know if you out in the club on Sunday, you come to work out in the club on Saturday, you come to church on Sunday. They're not gonna tell you wrong. They're gonna be like, "Oh yes, come as you are," but they want to get your money out of you because they know if they told you was wrong for going to church on Saturday, going to the club on Sunday, and coming to church on Sunday, they're not gonna get no money out of you. So they're gonna teach you what they want you to, what you want to hear, basically.
They're gonna get that money.
Yeah, they don't get their money regardless.
They don't even really care about what you think as long as you give up the cash. Mm-hmm. That's the validation right there. I don't know. Hopefully, you know, I didn't want to offend you with that question. You know what I'm saying?
No, you didn't offend. Like I said, I'm like, you didn't offend me. Like, that's a normal question to ask as far as anything, as far as you having a dialogue in a real conversation. But like I said, I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. Like I said, I believe in the higher power, but the higher power can be, you know, I believe in there's a higher power out there. So I'm not saying I'm a Christian or Baptist or Catholic or anything like that, because that right there, when you put a label on things like that, then it restricts you from knowing everything. You know, I'm not gonna put a label on my spirituality.
Right. And that's cool.
I'm not gonna,
because
you're not gonna sit here and because I'm not gonna be labeled with anything and then think I'm part of your. I'm not gonna say religion's a cult, but I'm not about to be part of your pack.
Right.
Like, okay, like Catholics versus Christians. I'm not gonna do that. Like, you're not about to put a label on me. I can find out who I am as an individual, but just by me being spiritual.
And it's okay to be in search of truth, because that's what it really is. You're in search of the truth. You know, they say that the truth is the light, and the light is the way. So there's nothing wrong with asking questions, and you shouldn't be afraid or ashamed to ask questions, because if a person is encouraging you from asking any questions, then it's normally because they don't have the answers, or they don't want you to have the answer, because it could change everything about what is benefiting them through you or from you. So yeah, it's some shit. It really is.
Right.
Well, listen, man, I really thank you for calling in and having some sense.
You
know what I mean? We're about to get on up out of here. But you know what, before we go, let's take a look at this poll question. Let's see, we got 41 answers on the poll. Let's see, 41 votes. What's
You know what? We came a long way. First, I was a troll. You remember that, right?
Yeah, how could I forget? Let's see. What's the most major thing that you have seen someone be in denial of? 39% said that they were in a one-sided relationship. Damn, that's 39. No. All right, 17% said that they were really sick or an addict. 22% said that they know a lot. No, in other words, like, some people think that they smart and they really are not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's see, 22% said that they were ugly or pretty. So some people think that they hot like that, and they really just all right or not even that. And then you have some people who really are good looking, and they think that they're ugly because their self-esteem is just all over the place and fucked up, you know? So,
But I really do believe beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. I'm not saying that because, like, it sounds good on paper, it sounds good, and not trying to be politically correct. But I really do believe beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, because you can be the most beautiful person on outside, but your inside, if the inside is fucking flawed and nasty and rude and despicable, then it don't matter how beautiful you is or handsome you is on the outside, you still a ratchet ass, you still a nobody. Because, like, your inner beauty will shine regardless if you good looking to some, or, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I guess
Don't get me wrong, because I'm the type of person, like, yeah, he might be fine, but if his personality flawed or he a hoe, that shit's a turn off. Make him like, nah, you're not even cute no more, you're not even good looking no more, because you running around spreading your seed, laying it low and spreading it wide. Like, that's not attractive. Not attractive at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who am I?
Hey, there are a lot of people that I think are good looking, and there are a lot of people that I think aren't. But one thing that can make people really start to scrutinize you hard is you running around here acting like you really all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you bring that type of attention to yourself by trying to make people think that you're really better looking than you are, by saying that you're that you're more good looking than you obviously are, then somebody is going to tell you the truth, and you might not be ready to handle that. But it is what it is. You invited that, so they're gonna be right at your doorstep with it. All right, but once again, I appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate your time.
All right, you have a good night.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, that's what's up.
All right.
All right, good night. Good talk, good stuff. All right, y'all, let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 29th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special, because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Diva Lady Lois Emerson. and she's raising money for the Mental Health America. That's what's up. And also Rover Lockhart and Danielle Smith, Kobe Jack, Veronica Davis, Angela Games, my cuz Angela Games. Happy birthday, cuz. And also Terrell Ebony, last but not least. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 29th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud, just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, being in denial or thinking that something is when it ain't, thinking that it was when it wasn't, think it will be when it won't. Well, I think we've all gone through it before. We've all made something a little bit bigger and better than it actually was. And sometimes we actually stood on it. Sometimes we felt good about the thing that we were defending or the person that we were defending, and we may have held on to that for years and years and years. And we look back on those years and some of us can say, well, yeah, at the time, I really believed that was the thing. I thought that was it. I really thought that they were 100. I thought that they were true. I thought that they were authentic. I thought that they were genuine. I thought that they were real. I thought that they would come through and persevere. And there comes a time in your life where you have to realize that, hey, people can't be what you want them to be. They are who they are. Oh, hold on, y'all got some nasty ass motherfuckers in here. Oh, let's get out of here. Oh, you go bye-bye, motherfucker, crazy. No, we gotta remove, hold on, let me sanitize this shit. You know what I mean? We sanitize this shit, we good? What up, CC, what's good? How you feeling, my girl, Robin Ming? What up, Robbie Rob? Always good to see you. Malu, thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. You already know. Satan, what's good? What's good? Slate, what up? I don't know. Propusio, you already know. Yeah, the rest of these cats, I'm not shouting them out. Like, yeah, I mean, I ain't got time to be sifting through all of them. But I want to thank y'all. Oh, God damn. The fuck out of here. We had to end anyway. Fuck it. I'm going to thank all of y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all. You already know. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Listen, man, anybody can believe in somebody. And sometimes that somebody that you believe in proves to you that they were the somebody that you probably should have not believed in. But hey, you live and you learn. And we're gonna learn a whole lot more than we live. You know, because but it's gonna be all right. If we make it all right. Oh, God, these motherfuckers. Get this shit out of here. Get this shit out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. It's either time to go to bed or time to go to work. Whatever y'all do, be safe and please return after it's done. Y'all have a good night, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Salute. Peace.